Hi folks, Nick here. I'm very happy to be joining you today from my own audio reader HQ, also known as my garage. So it's been said once or twice today that 2020 has been a year full of challenges. Overall, we are so pleased and proud and thankful for our entire audio reader team who have adapted to new ways of doing things and just rolled with the changes during this pandemic. One thing that hasn't changed, however, is our commitment to our mission and our dedication to finding new and more effective ways of reaching our listeners, getting the news and information they need to them in ways that make sense to their lives and to their specific needs. Many of you will be familiar with the Special Requests program, which is kind of a way to fill the gaps with some publications that are too specific to be of interest to a wide audience through our broadcast. Sometimes it's really only relevant for a small group of people, either in a geographic area or based on their interest. And sometimes it's just a single document or publication that is really only of use to one person, but of course has a huge impact to their ability to lead full and independent lives. Examples can be instruction manuals, training manuals, college textbooks, sometimes legal documents, or other news or information or entertainment that a listener just can't get in an accessible format. So one such special request that's come in since the pandemic has come from a listener named Teresa Bates. And Teresa is a hugely inspiring individual. She's been a registered nurse for decades before encountering problems with her vision due to a medical procedure. But she's not let that stop her by any means, and in fact she's continuing study to become a legal nurse consultant. So Teresa approached Audio Reader with this very specific need for a textbook so that she could be certified as a legal nurse consultant. Luckily, we had volunteers at the ready. Dr. Carl Graves was one of the first volunteers to leave Audio Reader right before we shut down with a home studio, and he has continued with gusto to read daily assignments as well as taking on additional tasks. So this special request was a perfect fit for Carl. After 43 different installments, Carl was able to complete the textbook, which we then got to Teresa not by our usual methods, but instead through digital means, sending a link which she was able to listen on her cell phone and also on her desktop computer so that she could do the work necessary for this certification, advancing her career and continuing to be effective in her role as a registered nurse and, fingers crossed, with Audio Reader's help as a legal nurse consultant. Before I hand it over to Teresa to tell us more about her story, I do want to thank Carl Graves for this specific special request, but also I want to thank all our special request readers over the years, as well as all our readers who've shown flexibility and a willingness to dive into these readings that have such a specific and unique impact to our listeners and really offer a service that they just cannot get anywhere else, and that goes a long, long way towards their ability to lead full and independent lives.
My name is Teresa Bates, and I am an avid audio reader listener. I've been participating with Audio Reader now, I think, since 2017. I was brought to the light of Audio Reader through an organization called Alpha Point here in Kansas City, Missouri, and born and raised. I became visually impaired through a surgical procedure, but I don't have any regrets because even though my vision is not like how it was, I've done a lot of growing and being able to learn how to adapt in a advancing technological world as, you know, my vision has become impaired. For somebody who was an avid reader, like ferocious, prior to the incident with my vision, I was in a dark spot. And so to have hundreds of books and not be able to read them, I felt like I was in a corner and that, you know, life was over. So being introduced to Audio Reader not only allowed me to continue reading, but has also allowed access to other topics that I probably would not have normally taken the time to even listen to. So I'm grateful and thankful for that. The books that I'm reading, the material, it's for legal nurse consulting. And I hope to, at the end of that course, sit down for a test to become a certified legal nurse consultant. That will allow me, a little bit more expertise and, power behind my name and credentials that will allow me to participate in different, legal arenas, given, being a registered nurse as well as being a nurse now since 1995. So that's the goal, is to become certified and to provide legal consulting to my area of expertise. Well, the thing with nursing is this, almost like when you're in the military and you go through basic training. Once you've had the training, everything else is just a plus. Being able to still remember, protocols, policies, and procedures, even without having my vision, I could easily walk a nursing student or a new nurse through, this is what the wound may look like, this is how it may present, this is how you would take care of it, this is what you would do if it's becoming emergent. So my basic skills, as what I learned, that never goes away. I think for somebody that has vision impairment or legally blind, it's one of the best things ever, as far as if you have a desire to continue to learn and grow and go forth with your education, being able to access this technology is awesome. I can access the link from, I usually click on the email that Nick sent me, and I can do this on the phone, sitting in doctor's office, or I can, go to my desktop computer. It helps me feel that there are zero limits. And for somebody who, had been, non-vision impaired for so long, to be able to access this information to help me, feel more empowered in order to, educate myself so that I can, continue on in the nursing career. It's convenient, it's highly accessible. And I hope that if there's other people out there, not necessarily just nurses, that, want to continue on with their education, I highly, highly encourage them to do this. I didn't go through all the years of, work, experience, and education just to sit in the dark. I still feel that, that urge to still want to help and to learn, it's still in me. So earmarked of my vision being where it's at, my brain still works. I still function as an, adult, female. And so I still feel like I have, things to offer that could be of value and a positive impact on others.